I have had a few questions in my inbox, and instead of addressing them individually, I'm just going to give a general answer so that whoever it concerns or have such concerns will be able to find their answer here. If you have received a visa denial based on proof of funds, or you are yet to apply for your visa and want to know more about your proof of funds, then this video is for you. It is going to be in two parts because it's going to be a while. So you can look out for the part two after this. And it is better for you to watch to the end because everything I am sharing is going to be important. Also, don't forget to follow me and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more updates. Based on what many people in my inbox are telling me, especially those who have been denied their study visas based on proof of funds, at least they claimed they did have the minimum requirements, or that's what they thought. So I am going to state this here. Your minimum requirement for a study permit application for proof of funds is 20,635 Canadian dollars. And that is the minimum. Or you can run it up to 21,000 Canadian dollars. But this is not the only amount you need in your bank statement. You also need your 1 year tuition fees, because the 20,635,000 or the 21,000 is meant to be your living expenses, not tuition fees. Your living expenses on accommodation, food, or whatever that you plan on spending on whilst you're in Canada. And this is also money that you are supposed to have access to. You have to prove to IRCC that you have access to this money. Just stating it or being in a bank statement is not enough. They have to know you have access to it. And as I said, plus your 1 year tuition fees. So this side is variable. It's not going to be fixed for everybody because every program has its own cost, also depending on the school you're going to. And this amount is given in your admission letter. So when you apply to school and you get your admission letter, you are given an estimated tuition fee for the year, or sometimes the school have already decided, so they just give you your tuition fee for a year. And since you will be submitting this letter to IRCC for them to know that yes, indeed, you do have admission, they are also going to refer to this amount and ensure you have that amount too, and is ready to make payments when you come here. This is also one reason why I always recommend that pay your tuition fees before you apply for the visa. Even if not all of it, pay half, so that they will know some commitment on your part that yes, indeed, you've already paid this huge amount, so there is no way you are planning on getting here and abandoning your studies, as many people do. And on the part where I said you need to have access or prove access to these funds, this is where you need to have the money in your bank account. And if you are using that of a sponsor, then the sponsor, or you have to prove that you are still going to have access to this money even though it's not in your name. So let's say you have your 21,000 plus, let's say your 1 year tuition fee is $10,000, making $31,000. And this is the only money you have in your sponsor's bank account. You now have to prove or convince the agent working on your application that the person who is sponsoring you or your sponsor is going to give you this money. Do you really think you are going to convince anybody that your sponsor is going to just empty their bank account and hand it over to you to come to Canada to school? No, that raises too many questions. So though that will be your minimum balance or the minimum requirement, if you are using a sponsor, the sponsor definitely need to show a lot more than that. And yes, it also has to be a running account, so that, yes, you've made them know this person is working and as a result can provide for you, and this is how much the person is making. They should see the person receiving this amount on a periodic basis so that they know, okay, yes, indeed, whatever you said is true and the person is receiving this amount. So even after taking all of this minimum requirement for your expenses, for your tuition fees, they are still going to be getting more money in it. And it's not going to be like they are just giving you their entire savings and then that is it. No. That raises the chances of your visa being denied. As I've mentioned countless times, visa application offers no guarantees. No one can guarantee you that if you apply for a visa, you're going to get it 100%. It's just about chances of you getting it or not. So when applying, when submitting your documents for a visa, you have to make sure, especially with the proof of funds, one, you are letting them know, yes, you have this amount. That is the minimum requirement, 20,635. And you also have your tuition fee for a year, either by showing the money or showing that you have already paid the tuition fee or you've paid parts and the rest of the money is showing in your statement. 3, you also have to let them know you have access to this money. And I am going to make a second part to this video where I'm going to explain how to make this access part easier on you, which is through creating a GIC account. So stay tuned for the next video. Have a nice day.